Ever wondered why CB radio is so much cooler than ham radio? Well, folks, let's dive into this age-old debate, a rivalry as classic as Coke versus Pepsi, Batman versus Superman, or even cats versus dogs. In one corner, we have CB radio, as simple and straightforward as a glass of cold lemonade on a hot summer's day. No need for a degree in rocket science to operate one of these babies. They're as common as apple pie in popular culture, making appearances in movies, music, and even your favorite action-packed novels. In the other corner, we have ham radio, the complicated, confusing cousin of CB. Operating one of these bad boys is like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. You're more likely to see one in a museum than on the big screen. So let's wrap it up here. CB radio, a simple pop culture icon. Ham radio, a complicated, boring relic. Seems like a no-brainer, huh? Now let's dive into why CB radio users are the James Deans of the radio world. These folks don't just communicate, they've got a language all their own. It's like they've created a secret club with their 10 codes and slang, making them cooler than a polar bear's toenails. And talk about culture. These CBers are the heart and soul of trucker life. They're the ones keeping the wheels turning and the cargo moving. They're not just talking about the weather, they're living it, out there in the thick of it. Then there's the independence factor. CB radio users don't need a license to transmit. They're the rebels of the airwaves, the Clint Eastwoods of communication. They're like Indiana Jones, venturing into the unknown, one frequency at a time. So you see, while ham radio users are sitting at home memorizing Morse code, CB radio users are out there, living life on the open road. Still not convinced? Well, let me give you the final knockout punch. Imagine a rogue, quick on the draw, always ready with a witty retort. That's your typical CBer for you. Now picture a stuffy academic, poring over manuals, abiding by every rule in the book. That's your ham radio user. CB radio is all about freedom, spontaneity, and a dash of mischief. It's the wild west of the airwaves, where the quickest wit and the sharpest tongue reign supreme. On the other hand, ham radio is like a stuffy lecture hall filled with rules, regulations, and more rules. And here's an inside scoop. Many ham radio users probably live in their parents' basements, munching on Subway sandwiches during their radio sessions. CBers are the swashbuckling pirates of the radio world, sailing the airwaves with their trusty CB radios, while ham radio users, they're more like librarians, dutifully cataloging their frequencies in the quiet of their basements. In conclusion, CB radio users are the cool, rebellious adventurers of the radio world, while ham radio users, well, they're just hamming it up in their basements. Who would you rather be?